Good afternoon, everyone.
Not on, Jay.
Nope, not on. Is it off here? All right. Let's try this again. Is that better? Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Greater Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting for the Kirby Dog Park. My name is Jay Solkup from Great Western, and it is my pleasure to MC the kickoff and the grand opening for this great new place. To start, I'm going to read a little bit about the new dog park. Downtown Sioux Falls continues to add residents each year, many of whom have dogs. A downtown dog park was a high priority in the Downtown 2025 plan. This park will serve the residents as well as the many visitors that come to Sioux Falls each year. All costs associated with the development of this park were generously gifted to the city by Joe and Jennifer Kirby, which speaks volumes about the love of the Sioux Falls community they have for its park and recreation system. With the ribbon cutting ceremony today, we congratulate the City of Sioux Falls on the new Kirby Dog Park at Fort Sod and thank them for their continued investment in the Greater Sioux Falls Chamber of Commerce. First up, it is my pleasure to introduce a man who really needs no introduction, our great mayor, Mr. Paul Tenhaken.
All right, thank you, Jay. Thank you all for being here today on this warm one. It's a beautiful day. It's a great dog park day. I got to introduce my family who's here. My wife, Jill. My daughter, Nora. Just kidding you, Nora. Max, Jade, and then we brought Ozzy, one of our Shih Tzus, along. He wanted to do the inaugural business at the park, so we brought him along today. You know, as Jay mentioned, a dog park has been identified for a long time as something that we want downtown, but there's a lot of things people identify that they want in our city. And in a low tax state like South Dakota, we only have so much we can do. And so we rely on the philanthropic minded people in our city to keep moving Sioux Falls forward. And Sioux Falls has a great philanthropic heart. I mean, if you look at a lot of this city, there are philanthropists who have touched so many areas of Sioux Falls, and this is another one. And so when Joe and Jennifer approached the city with this idea, we were totally all in because we knew of the need, but also we know of their heart for animals and for dogs. And so this is just an ideal fit for Sioux Falls. Whether you have a dog or not, I think what's going to happen is this will become a gathering point where people will just come, just to watch, just to hang out. And so it's going to be a great addition to the city of Sioux Falls. So I can't thank you guys as the Kirbys enough for investing in this. And I was emailing with them last week, and we were just talking a little bit on the way in. I don't think we could have drawn it up any better. From the sign to the way the design turned out, I got to tip my hat to the guys at Confluence who worked on this. And our city parks team, which Don is going to thank here in a minute. I also see our animal control, Julie is here, which she's excited about, so that we aren't chasing these things all over downtown now. We got them contained, right, Julie? So on behalf of the city, thank you, Joe and Jennifer, for this incredible investment. Will you please give them a big round of applause? And with that, it is my honor and my privilege to welcome Joe and Jennifer to the mic. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mayor. You too. 2,500 people live downtown. If you look at how that fits into the state of South Dakota, that would be a top 30 city in the state. A lot of people live in a small area down here, and we don't have as many amenities as maybe some other parts of town. So when we moved downtown a couple years ago, we thought it was important to get a dog park. And we knew that wasn't going to happen anytime soon on the city's plan, so we stepped forward to do it, and we're honored and humbled to be able to do that for the city. Dog parks aren't really about dogs. we've been to a lot of dog parks around the country, and we found that dog parks are more about building community. People get together while the dogs play and they solve the neighborhood problems. So that's what we hope we will see here in downtown. And we think it will draw even more visitors to come downtown. So we see it as a positive with more emphasis on pedestrians and dogs, and maybe a little less emphasis on cars driving through. With that, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce family members who are here. I've got a daughter, Leah, and her daughter, Lilia, and I've got, you guys can stand up, and then Keiko, my daughter-in-law, and my grandson, Matthew. So let's give them a round of applause. And of course, this is my wife, Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer.
Okay, I'm thrilled to be here. Right now, my hobby is walking my dog, and so I think on my Fitbit, the number of steps I get in is probably going to go down because I'll be here more and standing around watching the dog instead of walking all over who knows where. So I'm super excited to be here. I know we're going to meet a bunch of people, our fellow residents, and I just think it's going to be another place downtown where people can feel like they really belong and are connected to each other. All right, thank you. I'll hand.
Before I turn it over to Jim, Jim's the president of our Parks and Rec Board. A lot of people have asked about the sculpture that was here, and you can just shout it out. What did everybody call that sculpture?
Golf ball.
Golf ball. It was called Sea of Dreams, was it? Sea Dream. So that sculpture is currently being refurbished and refinished thanks to a gift from Lloyd Companies. And there's no better place for Sea Dream, aka the golf ball. It's going to be at Prairie Green Golf Course. It's going to be a great addition to Prairie Green. Steve, the sculptor, is very excited about that repurposing of that sculpture and that piece of art. So thank you, Lloyd. Thank you to the original artist for that. So now I'm going to turn over to Jim Stavinger. Jim is the president of the Sioux Falls Parks and Rec Board to make a few remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So my role is easy. I want to give you a play-by-play of what this place really is, in case you're wondering. Innovation was at the heart of this creation. Obviously, we've got artificial turf, but this isn't any old regular artificial turf. This is artificial turf with an antibacterial property, as one would hope and expect. Instead of rubber, there's an EnviroFill that helps with bacteria and microbes. So this is specifically designed, this turf is specifically designed for dogs and animals. An underground irrigation system with sanitization and deodorization. Did you get a theme here? You get a theme? Yeah. Don't want to offend our local businesses. The ornamental railing was utilized for fencing to make it look like it belongs as part of the city of Sioux Falls and been here for a long time. We've got 2 entrances. There's pedestrian lighting, and there's obviously the shade structures. So thanks on behalf of the Park Board. I want to thank Jennifer and Joe for their significant contribution. And we know based on how this is built, it's going to last a long time. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Don Carter, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Jim. Well, this facility is truly a signature addition to our park system. And now with this dog park that we're dedicating today, we have 3 formal dog parks across the city. And up until 2007, there were no dog parks in a formal way here within our park system. And so back in 2007, many of you probably realize that are aware of the dog park down at Spencer Park. So in 2007, we constructed that park, and whether it was very smart or not, we decided to have a ribbon cutting in December of that particular year, and it was a very bad idea. We froze to death, and that was the last ribbon cutting we had in December. But needless to say, we got a dog park started. Then again, in 2016, we built another dog park out at Family Park, out on West 12th Street and TLS Road. That was our second dog park. And then just here, not this summer, the summer before, we installed some ornamental fencing around the kind of informal dog park that we had out at Lean Park off of Cliff Avenue and just north of the river. So with this facility, we now have 3 dog parks. And I'd be remiss to not mention Rick Noby. Every time I would go on Viewpoint University, he would hammer me all the time about, why are we spending money on a dog park? Do we really want to be doing this? Is this a good investment? And of course, over the years and the number of shows that I did, I think by the 4th or 5th time that I was on a show, and he finally started to come around and said, hey, you know, these are really a pretty good investment the city should be making, and you guys have made a believer out of me. So when many of us talked about, you know, this is a dog park, they can exercise, they can run, they can socialize, but as the mayor and Jennifer and Joe have mentioned, this is really about a social gathering place for people to get to meet one another, to get to know one another. And I like to think of these dog parks as places for people that happen to have dogs. And that's how I just think of it in the reverse. And so, again, this is going to be a great asset for downtown Sioux Falls. As the mayor mentioned, this is part of our goals of our downtown 2025 plan. And the challenge is, you know, yeah, you can identify the need for a dog park, but where do you put it in downtown that's already essentially built out? And so what I like about what Jim said was innovation. You know, we talked about the opportunity to take really what was an underutilized park and turn it into a space of great activity, and one that still memorializes and pays tribute to the history of the site known as Fort Sod. I want to thank the Mayor Paul for his staunch support for this project. He was in right away when we brought up the idea. The City Council for supporting the gifting agreement and the idea. The Parks and Recreation Board for their support as well. And I'd like to thank our staff members as well. Mike Patton is our Park Development Specialist who led this project for us. Did an incredible job working with Confluence to get us to this day. Again, thank John and Chad and the folks at Confluence for their great design influence they had on this facility. I'd like to thank our neighbors, the Great Outdoor Store, Avera, the other businesses in the area that we consulted with as we talked about building this facility. And also like to thank Joe at DTSF who helped carry the water on this project as well. Finally, I too want to thank Joe and Jennifer. I know I'm the 4th or 5th person that has done that, but you know, whether it's the Levitt Shell, it's this dog park facility, or some other cause or need that's been identified in the community, you always find it that it's Joe and Jennifer that's always stepping up to make things happen and really step up because, again, they love Sioux Falls and they want to help out wherever they can. So, again, you know, they're here to lend a hand, and in this case, a very big hand. So, again, thank you, Joe and Jennifer. So should we celebrate and cut the ribbon and enjoy this facility? Sounds great.
All right, I'm going to welcome up Natalie Eisenberg. Natalie is, she got my old job. She's the CEO of ClickRain, and she is going to present a plaque on behalf of the chamber to, I believe, to me as the city, right?
Okay.
Or who is it going to? Is it coming to me?
You, Paul.
Okay, it's been going to me.
This
All
page
right.
is yours.
Accept.
This page
I'll
is
look.
yours. Hey, this hometown girl is once again so proud to be a part of this awesome project and this awesome day today. And so on behalf of the board of directors of our chamber, I present to you this plaque. And it reads, "We share our sincere best wishes for your success and continued growth in the Sioux Falls area. Congratulations, Kirby Dog Park."
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I think we'll go ahead and cut the ribbon. So let's get everyone at the ribbon who needs to have a role in that.
Will you be cutting the ribbon?
Joe and Jennifer are going to cut the ribbon next. Okay. I don't care. Come in here. Sure. Okay. Can my kids be in here? They want to be in here.
Oh, absolutely. Here, come here.
Get in here.
All right, you hold this.
All right, so that concludes the ribbon cutting today. Thanks for being here. Feel free to run around and pet some of these great doggos that came out today. Thank you, everyone.